For the strength and stability component, we'll be working with a sideline twist or rotation, a band pull apart, and a side arch. For the sideline twist rotation, sideline, we'll start by laying on one side completely with legs straight and stacked. Arm on the floor will be out 90 degrees from the body. From there, I will take the top leg, bend the knee 90 degrees, and bring it out in front of me, making a 90 degree at the hip. For some of you, it may be best to start with your knee elevated slightly on a yoga block or pillow, but I like to eventually get to the point where my knee is resting on the floor. From here, stack the hands. We're in this 90 degree position. You can rest your head on the floor. And we're going to start with the twist, in that I'm going to open up. So as I open up, I want to just follow my hands peripherally with my eyes and allow my shoulder to drop, or pull the shoulder, I should say, towards the floor behind me. As I do so, I'm going to get a nice opening in the shoulder here and the chest. I'm also going to get a nice twist in the body, open up the spine, and then I will come back to the start and repeat. Basic twist, 5 to 10 reps. Now, what I'm also focusing on as I do this is making sure that my knee doesn't lift off the floor, and I compensate by opening up the hips. So as you're doing this twist or rotation, you want to think about applying a little pressure on the floor with this knee to keep it in contact, and also to add an element of combining the lower and upper body, connecting the upper and lower body. So as I push the knee into the floor and reach behind me, opening it as much as I can, exhale, bring the shoulders towards the floor, and come back up. Now, for a lot of you, you may not get very far. That's okay. Just work on the range of motion that you have. I'm going to show it to you from the other side so you can see what's happening from the back. Excuse my back. From here, as I open up, I want to make sure that I'm not bending my elbow, I'm not bending the wrist, trying to touch the floor with my hand. We are trying to get the shoulder to make contact with the floor, not the hand. So as I reach back, I'm thinking about pulling the shoulder open and down towards the floor, not the hand. I'm keeping my lower body engaged to protect the low back because I'm pushing my knee into the floor and I'm engaging my glutes at the same time. So that protects the low back. We're getting just a nice diagonal twist. Gentle to start with. As you get stronger with this, you can start to expand a little and also start to load it down a little bit with a small weight, like a 2.5 pound plate. From the other side, real quick. Knee pressing to the floor. For this one, I'll do the rotation. So our setup is exactly the same for the rotation as it is for the twist. Only this time I'm going to do the overhead straight arm circle that you've seen in a previous video. The same applies with everything else though. I want to make sure the lower body's engaged, connected, the knees pushing into the floor. I've got the glutes active, I'm protecting my low back. So we're going to keep that arm nice and straight. And the idea is to try to keep the arm as close to the floor as possible without touching. So I don't want to be dragging my hand on the floor. If I'm doing the strengthening part of this and doing it with a little bit of load of the plate, I'm going to keep that from touching the floor as well. So with the plate, out to the side. This is just a 2.5 pound plate. From here, keeping the arm nice and straight. Again, following the plate peripherally with my eyes. As I get overhead, that's when I allow my body to start to twist open. Then I'll turn the palm up towards the ceiling. So at this point, the palm is facing the ceiling, and I'm trying still to bring that shoulder down towards the floor, pushing that knee into the floor to make sure my knee doesn't lift off until I'm straight across. So I'm in that straight twist position you practiced earlier. And from there, I come back the way I came from. Straight arm, trying to keep the back of my hand as close to the floor as possible, until I'm overhead. Then I can rotate, palm down, and return to the start. Now, if you cannot keep your knee from lifting the floor, then you can place something that has a little bit of weight on it. It can be a weight of some kind. It could be a sandbag. It could be something that, it doesn't really take much weight. Just something soft enough that you can put on your leg. It's not going to bother you, but it's going to put a little gravity into it and help keep that pressed to the floor. So a couple more reps in this position. Straight arm, palm is down, overhead, turning so the palm now is facing up. The back of my hand is trying to stay close to the floor as I bring my shoulder as close to the floor, straight across the body, and then trying to keep that as close to the floor as I can, coming back on out. Just like with that straight arm shoulder rotation we saw earlier in another series, I want to focus on the sticking point. So I'm going to get to a point here where I feel I'm stuck, and that's where you want to take your time and just open up, breathe, make sure you're not holding your breath, and work through that sticking point. As long as there aren't any really sharp pains or anything, it's fine. It's going to be challenging, it'll be uncomfortable, it's fine. If you have sharp stabbing pains, that's a whole different issue. Stop what you're doing. It might be best to check with somebody, a therapist, to see if there's any issues with that shoulder. So that's the sideline twist and rotation. For the second element of this component, we're going to work with a band pull apart. So this is for scapular strength. We started with the scap pull. Pull apart is similar. But we're going to do this in an overhead position to strengthen it at a different angle. So, with the hands fairly close together, we want to try and work as much range as possible. So if I start with the really wide grip, my arms are almost horizontal to the floor anyways. So I'm not getting much work and there's not much tension. If I bring it too close, I may not be able to get my body in a good position. And it may be too difficult for me to pull. So you want to find that range of motion that's best for you. I'll start here. And then with straight arms, as we did with the scap pull, except now I'm going to bring this up overhead. Making sure that the rest of my body isn't compensating. I'm not pushing the head forward or arching the rib cage. Getting this low back arch. Slightly active, rib cage down, head tucked back. Now with those straight arms, I'm going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and pull out to the side. That creates a little strengthening in the scap as I pull down. And as I come up, the shoulder blades will open up. From the back, neutral squeeze, pull straight across the body, bring it back. 2, 5 to 10 reps would be good. You can imagine that you can do this in different positions. I just did overhead, but I could do this in the same straight in front position that we used for the scap pull with PVC by pulling the band apart up to the side. This will work the scap a little bit differently, but also good work for strengthening that range around the shoulders. All right, for the last strengthening exercise, in this component, we've got a side arch. So we worked with a hollow body position, we worked with an arch body position laying out in front. Now we'll work with a side arch position. Depending on your level of comfort, you can have the feet stacked, or you can have one foot out front for a little bit more stability. If they're stacked and you're finding you're having trouble maintaining stability there, just bring that foot down. From this position, getting into a side plank, I want to make sure that my shoulder is stacked over the elbow. It's not punched forward, that it's aligned properly. I've got the shoulder pulled back. And I also want to push away from the floor as much as possible, so I'm not shrinking into the floor and getting that shoulder close to the ear. Once I've got that position set up, I'm going to engage my body. I'm going to lift the hip up off the floor. So now I'm in a side plank position. The idea here is you can just leave your hand to the side, it can be behind, it can be overhead, it really depends on where your comfort is. I'll just start here at the side. I'm going to bring my hip down towards the floor as close as I can. You'll notice that when I do this, I'm not sinking in the shoulder. I'm keeping this pushing away. I'm trying to draw my hip towards the floor, getting this kind of arc bow in the side. And then I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to try and bring this hip up towards the ceiling as high as I can. Repeat, pulling it down towards the floor, making sure you're not sinking in the shoulder. And up. 5 to 10 on one side. 10 on the other. Shoulders very much engaged here, not sinking. Pulling the hip towards the floor, hip towards the ceiling. Trying to keep my alignment. I'm not piking myself in some way. Make sure the hip, feet, and elbows stay in line. 5 to 10 reps on that side. And then you've done the first round of that component. You can continue for 3 to 5 reps, depending on whether or not you want to proceed with something else, or you just want to focus on this work for the day. You can do 5 reps.